1 year away from the midterm elections. They can't come fast enough, if you ask me. And Democrats, well, they are in a state of despair. COVID-19, as we just discussed, raging. The southern border is in crisis. We're going to get to more on that tonight as well. The withdrawal from Afghanistan, an unmitigated disaster reverberating across the globe. And the economy, it's a train wreck. Record level inflation, slow growth, a widespread labor shortage, major supply chain problems. But according to this tweet, get this tweet from Joe Biden, everything is going great. And I quote, "We're ending 2021 with what one analyst described as the strongest first-year economic track record of any president in the last 50 years, end quote, lest I be associated with it." Biden never named that one analyst, with some speculating it could be his son, zero experience Hunter, as Sean likes to say, rightfully, or Biden fangirl Jennifer Rubin. Now, make no mistake, with Biden faltering, Hillary Clinton is more than happy to make herself available. Can you believe that? Recently, in fact, she appeared on MSNBC and blamed far-left progressives for this year's long national nightmare. Wow, how far we've come. Meanwhile, on this program last night, Senator Lindsey Graham said in 2024, there's one person who can turn this country around, and the Republican nomination is his to win. Watch this. You mentioned Donald Trump, Senator. Is he the nominee in 2024 right now?
Yeah, if he wants it. Unless there's something coming out of left field I don't see coming. It's his nomination if he wants it. The Republican base appreciated him. We don't appreciate all the things he does sometimes. But from a policy point of view, he was the most successful president. From a conservative's point of view since Ronald Reagan, it is his nomination if he wants it. And he will be in the White House in 2024 if he runs a disciplined campaign.
Joining us now with reaction, Fox Nation host Tomi Lahren, Fox News contributor Tammy Bruce, and Fox News contributor David Webb. All of you, thanks for being here. Happy New Year. Great to see you. Tomi, I'm gonna flip the script here for you. If you're a Democrat attempting to run in 2022, what is your message? What are you running on as you appeal to voters 2 years into the Biden administration?
Well, I think it'd have to be smoke and mirrors. I mean, we're at this point where Democrats are having to decide if they're going to listen to someone like Hillary Clinton or listen to someone like AOC. Not great choices if you're a Democrat and you're looking to either keep your seat, you're looking to get elected. You don't have a lot of great options. So what they're really banking on is that the American people are stupid. But what they don't understand is the American people are not stupid. We go to the grocery store, we go to the gas pump, we see that this country is turning into a giant dumpster fire. You know, as President Trump said over and over again, if Biden would just have come into office and stayed in the basement, and whoever his puppeteers are would have just stayed in the basement with him, our country would have done very well. But they chose not to do that. They chose wokeism. They chose lockdowns over freedom. Now here we are, and they're trying to confuse us into thinking things are going well. Not going well.
It's true. Tammy, I mean, that tweet is indicative of what Tomi just said. Laying out before everyone's, don't believe your lying eyes. This is the best economic recovery in 50 years. Are they going to attempt to make an economic argument here?
Well, no. And this is, of course, should worry everyone because it's a signal that they themselves are refusing to acknowledge the catastrophe that is on its face obvious. All right. There's so many different signals. Whether it's the polls, whether it's personal lives, whether it's what family might be telling them, what they see on the television, even what their favorite, propaganda news sites are saying to them, the New York Times or even CNN. There is a uniformity in panic over the nature of what's happening. And yet there is no attempt to acknowledge it and not a willingness to do so. And that tells you that will not change. It's been almost a year. This will continue. So Americans have to be prepared for that. But for the Democrats, it will only get worse as we lead to the midterms. And of course, Americans, we're going to be seeing alternatives. This also is an opportunity for Congress, for the Republicans in Congress, to pressure more and more of the Democrats in the House, their fellow senators as well. You know who the role models are for the Democrats, and the Democrats understand this, the base. It's Kyrsten Sinema and Joe Manchin. They're the ones who represent the Democratic Party. And if they really wanted to have an impact, they would do more outreach and they would try to save their party.
Great point. David, you know, Omicron, this new variant, is front and center in the conversation right now. There were previous variants that happened during election cycles that had a big influence on people's mindsets. When they go to the ballot box, whether it's this variant or another, will the handling of COVID be front and center for how people determine who they want to govern them?
Yeah, you know, Pete, I think it will be a big factor when you look at, you know, people's reaction to mandates, whether it's state or federal level, the court battles that may go to the Supreme Court. That'll be a factor. But I wouldn't take that as the only thing. It drives the Republican base. That's understandable. But are there enough crossover Democrats? Are there enough crossover independents who will vote on those issues? We have safety issues, community issues, border security, Second Amendment issues that are on the table, cultural issues. We see what's going on with education. So I don't think Republicans should just take it as Biden's failing, we should win. And I think the Republican Party shouldn't just focus on the Congress. Look to the state and local elections. Look, our election systems are governed by the lower houses in the states. That's what the Constitution said. Let's get those laws in place. Let's stop this perversion of our election system. Let's get redistricting and gerrymandering, which the Democrats are going after, taken care of. Because if not, once they shore up those competitive districts, they're going to go after and try to destroy Republicans. Democrats are not down and out just because it looks like they're going to lose the House.
Sure. All right, I'm going to tempt fate here with three great talkers. You heard what Lindsey Graham had to say about Donald Trump being the likely nominee in I say that in a good way. Great talkers in a good way. The likely nominee in 2024. Do you agree? I'm going to go Tomi, Tammy, David, 15 seconds each. Go.
I agree. I think if Trump wants it, he likely has it. However, I would like to see Ron DeSantis step into that place, and I would like to see Trump going around the country and being kingmaker in all of these state and local races. I think he could make a big difference, and that's where I'd like to see him, and I'd like to see Ron DeSantis on the ticket.
Tammy.
Well, yes, only Trump can face down the monster that we've seen emerge even worse from the federal government. This has been a blessing for the American people to understand why Donald Trump is the only person who can get this country on her feet. COVID has proven that. The economy has proven that. And the only benefits we have right now in the Biden administration is the result of the Trump administration on the economy, on COVID, on immigration, as examples of what's possible and what we can do again.
That's a great point, David.
All right, I'll bat clean up on this one, Pete. Look, Republicans have a habit of looking for the next one. What I said about winning the other seats, the lower houses, votes that translate up, whether it's Trump or anyone else, and I think it is his to lose. He can run a smarter campaign. Whether that happens or not, without lower houses, lower seats, he will not be able to govern effectively if he wins in 2024.
Right. There's a lot at stake at the state level as well. Thank you all so much, Tomi, Tammy, David. Happy New Year. Great to hear from all of you, as always.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.